Alright, we're looking at Excel 4.6. So this one is on social justice data, so we've renamed it SC4 Social Justice. And we're looking at some charts, and we're going to make some visual charts out of these. So I'm in the international chart, and we can see numerically how many people are incarcerated or their incarceration rates by the 100,000. So we're going to make a chart out of this. So I'm going to use a function cell. So in D20, I'm going to find the average. So average, and we want to do all of these numbers. So worldwide, the average is about 200.5 incarceration. Okay. So now we're going to insert a data, and it says to insert a bar chart, and it gives you a visual of what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to select the information. I'm going to come to Insert Recommended Charts, and this one looks close to what we need. And so let me show you what we're trying to accomplish. So this is the chart we're trying to get. So I'm going to use the recommended charts to get something close to this type of chart. So I'm going to select this one and then see what I need to do to adjust it. So I need the USA to be red. So I'm going to click on the USA one, and let's see if I can make that one red. Right click, say fill, and let's make that one red. And we probably want the outline red too. For the average, so we actually want a pattern. So we can do one of these patterns. And so yours might not have all the same patterns, but we'll try and get close to what we're supposed to get. One of the patterns. And now it looks pretty good. Individuals incarcerated. And let's change the title to match what it wants. So it wanted international rates of incarceration. I'm going to close that pane, move it over so that I can actually see the information. And then it says in cell A25, we're supposed to explain why a bar chart is a better choice. So I might say a bar chart is a better choice because, and then explain why. All right. So we're comparing it specifically to the pie chart. So a bar chart is a better choice than the pie chart because. So then going to finish that sentence. Last thing is we're supposed to make sure everything prints except for our explanation. So I'm going to select what the print area should be. So for the print area, let's see, I want all of this to print. So in page layout, I go to print area, set print area. And now I have a print area for what I need. And we want to make sure it looks like it's going to fit on one page. So let's see how our print preview looks. Yep, everything's on one page. If we want to center it, we can come to margins and center what we have. And so when we print it, it looks more professional. All right, task 2, we're looking at disenfranchisement rate. So next tab, we're going to insert a chart for this one. And so it gives you some information. It gives you where the information came from. And we're going to put each chart on an individual sheet. So first we're going to do Washington. So I have the years of Washington selected. Let's insert a chart. And the first one looks exactly how it's supposed to be on my screen. So again, I'm comparing it to the instructions. Instructions ask me to make a chart that looks like this. So when I pick a chart, I want to pick as close to this as possible. which this one is pretty much identical. And so now I'm going to move it around so that I can actually see the data and the chart. Remember it said to put it on a new sheet, so I can right click, move to new sheet, make it its own sheet. And we need to name this. So I'm going to say Washington. For now, if we need to rename it, we can. The chart title, it gives me the chart title, so I'm going to say Felony Disenfranchisement Rate for Washington. And have the percentages, all of that, except notice how there's less lines. So let's check on that. I'm going to come to my access options, and we want to start at 0, go up to 20,000, yep, but we want to count by the 5,000s. So we're going to say count by 5,000. And for the percentages, we want to count by 0.5s. There we go. And I'm going to make these bigger so that we can see them. Same with this title. And since this was a size 28, let's make the percents a size 28. And same with the years, we'll make those 28. And that's just so we can see everything in our chart. So that was Washington. Now we're going to do the same for Oregon. So I'm going to come back to disenfranchisement rate. This time I'm going to select the years and Oregon. So insert a chart for that. Yep, looks exactly the same almost. Right click, move it to its own page, and this time we're going to name it Oregon. And we probably want to spell Oregon right. Again, I'm going to increase all of these. This time this says Felony Disenfranchisement Rate for Oregon. It's going to rearrange it. Now we're going to make this, we said 28 from the last slide, so I'm just going to check all of these to be 28. And then we're also going to change our access options. So where it says units, change that to 5,000. And for the percents, again, we're going to change it to 5%. So that means we're counting by 5,000, counting by 5%. All right, so that was chart 2. So now chart 3, we're comparing Oregon and Washington. So I'm going to come back to the disenfranchisement tab. And I only want to compare the numbers, not the percents. So we have the year for Washington and then for Oregon. So we're going to insert another bar chart. Yep, this first one again is what we need. And this is again supposed to be on a separate page. So I'm going to move it to its own sheet and we're going to call it a comparison chart. And let me increase the size of these. So 28. Let's increase the years. 28. Chart title, we had it at 32, I believe. So now we're changing the chart title to Comparison Oregon and Washington. And oh, this is really small, that legend, so let's make that a 28 also. Okay, so now we can see which color represents what. We're counting by 2000s. So I'm looking at the directions. Looks good, matches it, and there we have it.